It is the Raw Wrap-Up. Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter. Here, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. This is our Google Hangout. Really easy getting out there live. Boom! On the YouTube's show just after Raw goes off the air. Our initial thoughts. I'm Mike Sorg here in Mayhem Studio in Pittsburgh, PA. We're here to talk wrestling with you. With me is my compatriot on Monday nights. He is Mad Mike up in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Sorg, what the fuck are they doing with Raw?
What are they doing? What are they doing? We'll get into what they're doing, Mike. We got some stuff.
Sorg, I figured this out. I have figured this out, Sorg.
Okay.
All right, Sorg, do you know analogies?
I sort of.
You know, like SAT prep stuff. Like bear is to grizzly as like elephant is to African. I don't know. They're analogies. People know analogies. Raw is to SmackDown as DC movies is to DC television.
Ooh, depressing.
Yes, depressing and way too long. Anyway, let's talk Raw.
Let's talk Raw. I don't want to get in the way of. We need to definitely talk about the biggest surprise of the show, the biggest surprise face to be on Raw tonight, and that obviously is friend of the show.
Ali.
No, you stepped on it.
Sorry.
Friend of the show, Ray Lyn against Nia Jax tonight.
Yay! Hooray!
Yay!
Hashtag Mayhem Bump.
Or hashtag Mayhem Squish.
Hey, she took a bump too. All right,
She did.
She took a bump.
Then she took a squish. But no, great to see Ray Lyn in there as well. I apparently used her for comparative size purposes to Sasha Banks.
Well, Sorg, what I'm hoping for, Triple H announced that women's tournament that's going to be coming up. I'm hoping we have many friends of the show in that tournament.
I think there are going to be a lot, especially as many as we're talking to these days. Girls of Rise and Shine and Shimmer. I think it's inevitable. We're going to have some familiar faces on there that we've talked to.
Sorry, that means our loyalties are going to have to divide.
Oh, we have a friend of the show off. Apparently,
it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to pick. You know, with CWC, we have Gargano. That's basically it. If this women's tournament goes the way I think it's going to go, we could have a friend of the show versus a friend of the show for the finals.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Anyways,
yes.
Raw. And congrats, Ray Lyn, for getting on there tonight on Monday Night Raw, joining that collective as well. So then the other, I guess, kind of a big deal that showed up tonight that was completely unannounced. Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear Cleveland melt?
Yes. And then did you hear everyone die when none of them did anything?
We don't know what happened when they went off of air.
None of them did anything.
It's a stare down.
None of them did
Why can't you enjoy a good old-fashioned stare down, Mike?
Because I hate stare down, Sorg. Do you know what, Sorg, what would podcast be if we just stared down for 5 minutes when we closed? They would be really boring.
It'd be NPR.
No, they wouldn't. Sorg, I'm sorry. This Raw, the only cool thing about this Raw was the Sami Zayn Seth Rollins match.
Thank you. We can agree on that at least.
Yes, and the only good thing about this Raw, that is the only good thing. The only good thing, and it even has kind of a bad part to it because now Seth Rollins isn't going to be in the Rumble. Triple H already eliminated him without even stepping foot in San Antonio. That's impressive. It's a disembodied elimination.
That's true.
We're probably going to get like the Rollins report on Royal Rumble and Triple H is going to come out.
He's going to be on the pre-show panel.
Either that, or, and this is a much worse option, Triple H comes out as a surprise entrant in the Rumble, and Rollins comes from the back and eliminates him. That's a far worse option.
It could be I think
they're already.
We're getting little predictions. It's going to be Triple H and Rollins are finally going to go face to face, at least in some aspect.
When at the Rumble?
Yeah, at the Rumble, it's going to be its own segment.
I don't think so.
Mark my words. Mark my words.
All right.
There will be a Seth Rollins. If not directly Seth and Triple H, Seth is going to do something to Steph.
Yeah, I can see that.
Something is going to go down. Seth will be involved in non-match capacities somewhere at Royal Rumble.
I mean, he kind of has to be at this point. Unless there's because Sorg, keep in mind, we have a 2-hour pre-show. Seth Rollins.
Anything can happen.
Seth Rollins could take out oh no. Seth Rollins could take out Titus O'Neil on his way to the Rumble match, isn't he?
Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, rolling around that. No, I love the match. And again, text to myself in 2007. Hey, Tyler Black and El Generico are going to have a match called by Sterling James Keenan on Monday Night Raw in 10 years.
Sorg, that wasn't El Generico. El Generico wears a mask and is from Mexico. That's clearly not the same guy.
I'm lying to myself.
Sorg. I mean, they know each other. They know each other. Sami Zayn's talked about him, but, they're not the same guy. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're delusional, Sorg. Your past self, your future self, your present self, they're all delusional.
Well, we're very crowded in here. Anyways, so we had as you were saying, the obligatory 10-man tag pre-Rumble, which maybe the actually I thought the 10-man tag actually was kind of fun.
It was an 8-man tag, but I mean,
eight to 10 men. I don't know. I thought I was part of it for a moment. But we did get Handsome Rusev as an idea in our minds.
Sorg, anyone who has watched Total Divas has had that idea in their heads and minds for a lot of months now.
Thank you for including the rest of us on that thought now.
Yes.
And thank you. Was that you that pleated the picture tonight?
Rusev, no, that wasn't me, but Rusev pretty much never has his shirt on fully on Total Divas.
It's just impossible.
No, the clothes are... The clothes themselves are like, we should not be on this specimen. We need to vacate immediately.
Our job is not appropriate here.
Yes. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sorg, I will tell you this. This did not get me hyped for the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
It didn't. It was not a go-home show.
It definitely, well, I mean...
If that last segment devolved into the first segment from last week, that would have been great.
But I think it did, because you can't have anybody touch each other, because the whole thing is do they run into the Royal Rumble?
Hold on. All right, Sorg, you want me a fancy book how to do this? You want me a fancy book how to do this immediately?
Tell us how it's done, Mike.
All right, fine. Here's what you do. When you have Goldberg with his back facing the arena, you have Braun Strowman run out and attack Goldberg from behind, so Goldberg still looks strong. Then you have the guys from the tag match come out to get revenge on Strowman.
Rumble ensues. That's what's missing. You're right.
You fill the ring, and then Gong Taker shows up in the middle of all the chaos and just stares at everyone, and that's how you end Raw, with a fucking stare down.
That is true. Although, but the closest thing is taking your 3 top draws for this thing and have them unannounced on Raw and do that, and do what they did. I think it's... I know, but hey, it's not the thing that happens every year. Which is
I would
everybody
prefer
gets in
the thing that happens every year. We like the thing that happens every year. We look forward to it. It's going to happen on SmackDown with none of the big people.
It's true.
Because the 2 biggest names on SmackDown ain't even in the Royal Rumble.
That's where the ring fill is going to happen. Is maybe they don't even have it on SmackDown, and it's just everybody shows up at the end of 205 Live.
No, sorry, that's adorable. That's adorable,
Isn't it? Even
sorry. Why don't none of the 205 Live people have career aspirations?
What do you mean?
Why have none of them said, "Hey, I'm gonna be in the Royal Rumble"?
Because everybody's bigger than you.
So,
I know, right?
Sorg, Hornswoggle has been in the Royal Rumble.
I really hope there's some kind of maybe there will be a Lady Rumble on the pre-show.
No, Sorg, you're thinking far too creatively. Far too creatively. I would love there to be a women's Royal Rumble. That would be amazing. It ain't gonna happen, but it'd be fun.
Forgive my distraction, but we're trying to figure out if we can get a T-Rex suit for tomorrow's show, apparently.
I'm sure you probably could. Go to a Party City. Rent one.
I'm pretty sure that one that showed up in IWC this weekend did not get its deposit back.
Probably not.
Nope.
Probably not.
Nope.
No. So Sorg, what else happened on Raw?
Goldberg started bleeding.
Yeah, Goldberg, I'm pretty sure gave himself a concussion.
I missed the part where he bashed his head off the wall, apparently.
Yeah, he headbutted a door or something, and I'm like, motherfucker, you're old. This ain't 1996 no more.
He's hugging kids and bleeding on them, and then forgot his promo.
I'm pretty sure he gave himself a concussion.
Oh,
I'm not kidding at all.
He's not going to be cleared for Rumble now.
Oh, that would be amazing. By the way, Sorg. Because I want all the people who don't eventually matter in one match, let's book that triple threat stare down match for Mania.
Okay. That works.
I think that should be the Mania match.
That'd be good. I mean, that's how you elevate things. Man.
Yeah. Keep Taker away from the title. Keep Goldberg and Brock in the same match. Taker can get his revenge on Brock at the same time as you get the Taker-Goldberg stuff.
Gives a reason to not have a minute-and-a-half match with Goldberg.
Yep.
Yet he doesn't have to do a whole lot.
Correct.
So
I would genuinely like that. I genuinely want to see that. Also, I will say one thing about tonight's Raw gave me a slight bit of hope. Kevin Owens may actually beat Roman Reigns on Sunday, Sorg.
Oh yeah,
he might. No. He might. He might. The overwhelming odds are Roman wins the Rumble and goes on to face Braun or Taker or Goldberg or someone at WrestleMania. And then Jericho and Owens fight each other for the U.S. title or some bullshit. But I mean, Sorg, the odds are not high for Owens and AJ to go into WrestleMania as the champions.
Yep. No, absolutely not. And I'm afraid it's going to turn into that, like, The Rock and CM Punk situation.
Yep, which is not good.
Well, other than that, we had sit-down interviews with the top two contenders in women's wrestling right now.
We sure had talks with them.
We had some discussions and some talks and some Corey Graves.
Mm-hmm. They were talks. A lot of same repeating points with less botches, I guess. I did like the Sasha and Nia stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was okay. I think Nia should have sold being hit with a crutch several times a little bit more, but what are you gonna do? Like, have you ever been hit with a crutch, Sorg? Shit hurts.
Not in the last 10 years, no.
Okay. Shit hurts.
Shit hurts. There you go. No, but I thought Raw was definitely a little more pickup from last week. We had a really good match early in the show, and so I got my bit out of it. I got my nothing that I pay for USA out of it. So I guess kind of I pay for it via Hulu technically.
I thought Raw was better last week.
You thought it was better last week?
Yeah.
That one that you like hated because it was the same old, same old?
Yep.
Yeah, but I guess if you look at it, our quote main event was Rich Swann and Cedric out. No, Cedric was last night or tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Who'd you get? Dar?
Yeah.
He got Dar.
Yeah, Rich and no.
Yeah, he got Dar because afterwards
he got Dar
with Cedric and Dar and Fox. Which is he throwing a different spin on that?
Oh well, he's just playing into it now.
He's just having fun with it now. He's like, how many? Yeah, crazy Alicia Fox, who I think somehow may be in the Royal Rumble too, in my mind.
Sorg, I would kill for that.
I know, right? I know.
By the way, it seems like there's way too many people on Raw being in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Like, can we name 5 people from SmackDown that are in the Rumble? Not counting Taker.
So like definitely Corbin, and but unfortunately I am not terribly watching SmackDown like full on because of when it is in
but like I think Corbin, Ziggler, Ambrose, Miz. Oh, and the Wyatt family.
And I think there's room that some people that have matches earlier in the night will probably show up too.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, just because Raw has 2/3 more people than SmackDown does doesn't mean that should be disproportionate in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be anyway. Because I'm sorry, all 3 members of the New Day do not need to be in the Rumble.
No, except to be the New Day and for Kofi to get his.
They're not. A Sorg, I will guarantee you. This is a Mad Mike guarantee. All 3 members of the New Day will not be in the ring at the same time.
All right, holding you to that.
All right, fine.
Make it so. Make it so. Let's talk about that.
Energize.
Mad Mike predictor. Mad Mike, how much of Raw was watchable for you tonight?
Ooh, that's tough. Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Can't go more.
Hour and a half. Man, I am gonna go. I really level out. I'm leveling out about 2 hours tonight.
Okay.
Nothing I hated, but just nothing.
Not a go home show by any stretch of the imagination.
It's not a I'm here now show even.
Yeah, like if they had ended with the Jericho, Owens, and Reigns thing, I know how much I harp on. I don't like that, but if they had ended on that would have been a better go home moment.
Certainly. Well, on that note, we'll see how this goes. We'll talk more at length on the Royal Rumble tomorrow on the Wrestling Mayhem Show here live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com and over on our Facebook page on Facebook Live. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll actually have Dan Hooven for the International Wrestling Cartel, who, by surprise, ended up in his first wrestling match. Did he wrestle
Ryback?
No, he did not wrestle Ryback, but Ryback is scheduled for IWC in the next several months, so this puts that in the realm of possibility. He was shooting photos ringside and was selected as one of the people to be in the tag team against the tag team champions, the Fraternity.
So is Dan Hooven secretly Santino Marella and he didn't tell us?
Yes, like an Asian Santino Marella.
Okay.
Actually, in a sequence of events that involved his glasses and his camera being devastated.
Okay.
We'll
is this like the McKeesport Miracle or something like that?
Almost.
Or the Meadville Miracle?
No, it was Elizabeth. It was the
Elizabeth experience. Got it.
The Elizabeth experience, yes, with Dan Hooven. So he'll be here.
Elizabeth.
He's scheduled to be in here in studio on the couch chatting about that, and we'll see if he has a challenge for Ryback. So there you go. Fairly held his own there against the frat boys and help from friend of the show, John McChesney, of course. You can also please support these shows. Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. A monthly donation is appreciated for that, and you get stuff. If you get the $5 level, you get actually a Mayhem Show Gold. And this week, we have a special road story from Ring of Honor signee Shane Taylor that joined us this week for Indie Mayhem Show that he's not told anywhere else. That involves Ray Rowe, Keith Lee, and a silent alarm.
Huh. Okay, then. All right.
Now, to get that, you got to join the Pocky Club or patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Sorg, if they join the Pocky Club for Patreon, they will get to participate in Mayhem Mania this year. Can't forget that. Mayhem Mania, we will have a round for Patreon members only, where you get to fuck with all of our matches.
Pretty much. Jackson Argus, Canadian Dry. Jackson Argus already submitted his match. Who's next? See what Dan Hooven's going to do. He can't put Ryback in there technically, so no, Hooven, no. We'll see. At least I don't think he can under the rules, really. So with that, Mad Mike at Mad Mike 4883 on the Twitters.
Yes, and also I will be live tweeting, of course, again this week. Hit up the hashtag MM on at Mayhem Show.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I'm at Sorgatron on the Twitter. Please follow us and let us know your thoughts on what did you learn from Raw on at Mayhem Show on the Twitter, Wrestling Mayhem Show on the Facebook and Facebook group. We'll see you guys next time. Keep it raw.